Hey, what's up guys? The rank 3 player in the world just built a new meta balloon deck, catching opponents off guard to catch quick wins. When opponents assume you're just playing a giant deck, they'll use a building placement to pull the giant as far as possible. So when you go for a balloon shortly after that doesn't get pulled, the balloon will bring their downfall. Anti-air cards like Executioner, Little Prince, and Phoenix will get countered by your Void. And bait cards like Minions, Bats, and Archers get deleted by arrows. So the balloon's left bashing the tower with no answers while the opponent's forced to leave the match. It's time to boldly barrage our opponents with balloons to bang down their towers and assert dominance. And big balloon love to everyone that's using creator code SirTag to make these videos possible. If you only have one evolution, use Evolve Bomber. Hey, we matched into a top 432 player. Let's go. He's giving us the double thumbs up, but you already know, we're gonna give him a thumbs down with the Bomber. It is not a fun card to match into, especially when it gets evolved. So we're ready to go and blow him away with our bombs, and he's thinking with his Hog Rider emote. So I wonder if we go over for a Phoenix here on the left-hand side, and we're able to bounce the bowler into our King Tower activation with a Fisherman, that would feel real nice. Not gonna happen though, because the guy's gonna go in for a Night Witch as well. So it looks like he's gonna be running a big beatdown deck. So I need to go in to separate his stuff. Ideally, we're gonna be able to activate King Tower against this giant with the Fisherman. There's a chance he decides to zap me or lightning or something. He goes in for the zap, but he misses it. Even a top 400 player in the world can't hit that precise timing every time. We're gonna go for Skellies a little bit lower because we don't want him to go and pop the ability and lock onto the skeletons. It would be tragic for me to have that happen. The double bounce of the Bomber is fantastic. And then obviously with the King Tower activated, we aren't gonna take as much damage as we traditionally would. So we would take probably a 800, 900, even 1,000 more damage there if we didn't have the King Tower activated. Now I can go for the Phoenix in the back right. Ignore the left-hand side a little bit longer if he decides to spam into me because we've got the King Tower and we also end up having the Dagger Duchess at full ammo. And now we can go for a balloon with the giant. If he's got a building, there's a chance that he drops the building really far to pull the giant maximum tiles. But since he's running a beatdown deck, he doesn't have that. So we're going to go in for the Void here on top of the Little Prince. And the Little Prince is done and dusted. There's no way that thing is staying alive. Wait, he's going to take so much damage. The Dagger Duchess is depleted, and he needs a defense. He's got nothing. That is absurd. I genuinely think that this deck is overtuned. That shouldn't be possible. We delete a 3-for-3 card that he relies on defense, and then he just loses his entire tower? Dude, Void is broken. All right. Also, if you guys are unaware, you can go in for a Fisherman to go and pull the Giant to the other side. If he doesn't hit a good zap here, I think he's screwed. He has to hit a good zap. So now we can go in for a Phoenix and give him the clap, because look at the Fisherman slapping that thing silly. Now we can go in for a Giant and use the Fisherman plus the Phoenix. I don't know how the Fisherman knew that he had to wander towards the left-hand side to give us even more value, but he did. All right, high likelihood that our opponent drops a bait card here. Even if he does, it's fine though, because he's gonna still lose the Little Prince. Just ended up dropping more cards into the cauldron of our spam. And now we can start to flame him even longer with our Evolve Bomber balloon pushes. I'm going to go in for a Phoenix here, and then we can go for another Giant. We're just keeping up the pressure because we know that he has to focus on defending, and he's not able to. He's really not able to do that. But now we can go in for arrows and just use our Void on defense here. I think we're going to win the game if we can get a good arrows. And we do. The skeletons are still alive. Are we snagging both towers? This is Demolition Derby, my dudes. Both towers are dumpstered, and he didn't take a single one. Despite this man being a top 400 in the world finisher, he got absolutely obliterated. Giant Balloon's destructive power is diabolical. This guy's got multiple miners in his banner. And he's also gonna have the Cannoneer, which is not something that we want to see because that crushes our balloons and our beatdown pushes with our Giant. This is the worst tower for us to match into, but hopefully it won't be a problem. Also, whenever someone says good luck, I will take that luck, and I'll toss out the Giant in the back right, and we'll see if we can deliver some nice damage. Fortunately for us, since he is running Goblin Drill, it is highly likely that he does an optimal pull on top of this Giant. And when he does, then we can go for the balloon on the other side and wreck him. Because usually what happens is that building will not be able to pull this balloon. So then he'll drop a range card, and we should be able to Void on that to kill it. So that Little Prince is dead. The balloon is going to go right towards the tower, and that's guaranteed 1 or 2 shots on the tower for sure. Unless he does that and goes in for a drill and has fast fingers, but that still gives us 1 shot, maybe even 2 still. Oh my gosh. Still a phenomenal position. where he ended up going for the best possible defense. He dropped a drill, and he got away with the Cannoneer since it has such high damage per second, shredding our Giant. And if he didn't have Cannoneer, if he had the Dagger Duchess or the Princess Tower, he would have automatically lost the game. If he didn't go in for the Goblin Drill on defense, he would have automatically lost the game. So in the best possible case scenario for our guy, he's still screwed, and he's only left with 600 HP on his tower. That's the firepower that this deck has, and that's why we like it so much. So shout out to Hazard for creating this deck. The rank 3 player really put in work to build one of the best decks in Clash Royale. And I think that this will be dominating the leaderboards for a while. Anyway, we might be able to go in for a Skeletons on top of the Drill, because genuinely, if you want to go arrows, then you don't have the arrows for the Evolved Bomber, right? So if we can bait out the arrows that way, we're always happy to make him pay. Now we can go for another Fisherman here, and because he can only get one Little Prince on the field at the same time, we should be able to just go through with the Giant and then a Balloon, and then guarantee that we get a good trade by going for a Void on top of his building if he's not able to distract. So I bet you he goes in for the building soon, and we're going to go Void on that directly. Make sure that he doesn't have his Skeletons inside the Void, and that's gonzo. He has to go for another building. It's unbelievable to force out this amount of elixir, and also the building is his Wing Condition. So now he has to sit back and relax as he takes death damage from the Balloon. Enabling us an opportunity to go and spell cycle him with arrows and also a void spell. So now I think we go for a Phoenix. We play rather safe, going in for the Phoenix directly on top instead of going in and bombarding him with every ounce of our elixir. Now we can go for Skeletons here. I think that we also want to go for Evo Bomber on defense just to guarantee he doesn't get that much damage. And even though he's spending all of his elixir on defense right now, imagine just dying to the void arrows. Couldn't be me. Wait, he's going to go in for the Little Prince to try to block and mitigate some of the damage, but it's still not even close to enough. We can Fisherman directly on top of the Drill, and he is definitely dead. GG and well played. This is one of the most deliberate matchups that we've ever had. We had a plan, we put it into action, and we snagged the towers. When you set up a Giant in the back, the opponent will always go in for a building to pull the Giant the maximum distance. And when they do, the Balloon flies on through without getting pulled. And even if your opponent's really good at the game with another counter like Goblin Drill, they're still going to take a ton of damage. There's no way for even some of the most defensive decks in the game to stop this deck spam. Let's keep up the W's here. Absolute 0. So hopefully he has absolutely 0 chance of winning this game. That's our ideal. We're going to go in for our Giant in the back, and the guy's going to have Bomber. Sometimes you look at a card behind the King Tower and you're like, is that a Wizard? Is that a Bomber? I don't know. But now we know that our opponent is probably going to be playing a Lumberjack Balloon deck, or it's going to be probably Golem actually, right? It's going to say Lumberjack Balloon or Golem, but Golem is way more popular with Elite Barbarians. So we're going to arrows here, and it is definitely going to be that Golem deck with just Night Witch and Mega Minion as their sole anti-air defenses. So when he doesn't have Mega Minion in cycle, how is he expecting to defend against this? I don't think it's possible. So we're bouncing through with our Balloon, and we're going to see what this guy's going to do. He's probably just going to lose the game, even if you arrows. The Phoenix rises from the ashes, baits out the arrows, and bounces onto the tower, pounding and pecking away at our opponent's eyes. Look at the Dagger Duchess. It won't be able to see any longer. It's gone. It's deleted and yeeted from the game, and this is how we like to play Clash, guys. Instantly obliterating opponents as you can. Whenever you seize an opportunity, you steal the game, and then they can't do anything anymore. So this guy's going to go for a Golem. I want to see if I can 3-crown him. Usually we cut to the end right now. But this is one of those few moments where we are ransacking the tower, and he has all of his elixir bent on this one push. So if this works out for him, he will win. But if he doesn't, then he's just going to make himself look like a fool, which I hope is the case. So I want to go in for a Fisherman here to activate King Tower. There's a high likelihood that he is going to go and drop some other stuff. So let's go for a counter to the Lumberjack with the Fisherman, ideally. And then we're going to arrows on all the bats. I wonder if that counters the Fisherman, and it does. If you guys are unaware, the Fisherman is going to do super well, because if you pull the Lumberjack to the King Tower, then the rage that bounces from the Lumberjack will actually activate King Tower there. So worked out really well. Also, he wasted his arrows and a zap. I wonder if we 3-crown him with Giant and then the Evo Skellies. We gotta do every Golem player dirty. When you all in with Golem, you deserve nothing less than getting 3-crowned. So we're gonna arrows here on top of the Evo Bomber, and that's not gonna kill our Skeletons. In fact, our Skeletons are still out here rowdy and multiplying until we wreck our opponent. Okay, he's gonna Evo Zap. That's kind of annoying. That's rude. You rude and uncivilized scoundrel. How dare you? Anyway, the Balloon still gets another shot. I want to 3-crown him without taking a single tower of ours. No, he's going to take one, right? Probably, right? I don't know. What if we go in for arrows? And then we try to get a good Evo Bomber here. If the Evo Bomber can bounce just once, we win. Or maybe the Giant gives us enough damage. Wait, he got 3 crowned without snagging a single tower. And he went all in with his golem push without even trying to defend. This is the epitome of utter embarrassment. When they allocate all of their elixir on offense, spending absolutely 0 on defense, and still fail at everything, it's pretty funny. Yo, we got a game against someone with the whole Hog Rider family in the banner. And maybe he's an absolute unit, or he's just running one of those units. We're gonna find out, and SirTagCR Skelly's in the back, and welcome him to our family. Our family of skeletons with the Bomber and the Evolved Skeletons. I feel like this deck is pretty diabolical once you get a good push rolling. I'm going to go for the Giant in the back right now since we just see the bats out of cycle and his arrows out of cycle. So it's going to be a little bit harder for him to defend this. Wait, let's just Void on the Sparky. Gonna be able to get 1 or 2 shots? Okay, awesome. So we got an entire shot on top of the archers to finish them off. And we half health the Sparky for 3 elixir. That's insane. Even if they body block it, it's still not enough to stop us from shattering the Sparky's expectations of defending. The Sparky is now absolutely dead to this. Oh my gosh, wait. We can activate King Tower here too. Let's go for skeletons here. And then go in for a Bomber to go and pull back that. And then go for a Giant. Wait, no, it pulled the wrong thing. Oh my gosh, please let me activate King Tower for the one time. This would be horrible if we don't get it. All right, we got the King Tower activation. Mission aborted. We are not screwed. What? Come on, Clash. This is awful. We were trying to lose the game, and we got out of it. We got out of our own bad decisions. And now we're back in a bad spot because the guy's got Barbarians as well. This is our own personal hell, matching into someone with Barbarians with a Sparky deck because Barbarians do not die. Fortunately for us, we might be able to get a good arrows on bats and archers, or maybe just one of them. I guess the balloon might take the tower. I don't know. What's happening here? Are you going to all-melee with the Sparky? Probably. If you eat this amount of damage, you don't care about defense. You just eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you're trying to be trying to become the winner with this push. I can't have that happen. I'm just going to have to stop this with all my might. So our strategy here, try to go and pull the Giant as far as we possibly can. Maybe go in for our own Giant. Oh, this is not great. This is really not good. We're going to go Void on defense, which obviously is not a good play. It is the only way that we can kill the skeletons, though. And then, I mean, we're still alive somehow. I don't know for how long, but we're alive. Skeletons, start multiplying, please. Evo Bomber, don't die, don't die, don't die. Oh my gosh, this would be horrible if we lost this right now. I need to salvage the situation with arrows. Please let me hold the door. There's no way. Our tower's still alive at 800 HP. He's going to Giant me, though. All right, we got to stop that. We got to stop that. Let's go for another Void spell. Please let me defend against this graveyard. I'm going for a Fisherman on defense. This is unbelievably scuffed. And maybe we can still hold the door. If he Giants right into this Fisherman and our Fisherman pulls the Giant into our tower, I'm going to cry. There's no way that that's the way that we're going to die. I'm going to go for Skellies here, and we can arrows, and we win! Let's go! That was one of the weirdest defenses I've ever had, and I don't know how we stopped that. Probably activating King Tower early on in the match played a huge part. Because if you use Void as your only defense against skeletons, your towers will get ripped apart. Void can't one-shot skeletons like poison or other spells. So our scuff start where we activated King Tower actually ended up saving the day. We are lucky enough to get graced by the presence of the Supreme King. So our strategy right now is just going to cycle the evolutions and chill until we can afford our big giant parade push. We're going to be cycling our balloons in the back soon. Oh, wait, never mind. I was going to go for the giant in the back and then go for the balloon afterwards. But if the guy really wants to give me a free elixir collector like that, it's awesome. He might be able to hide his elixir collector with his emotes, but he's not able to hide his disappointment. He lost the entire elixir collector there for a horrible trade. And as you can see, elixir collector gets cannibalized, crushed, and eaten alive by your elixir. You just spend 3 elixir, and then you're like, wait, give me the positive elixir trades. It's kind of funny how elixir eats elixir out here, and it's an elixir world where you send your opponent in a whirlwind of negative elixir trades. Also, I want to be able to go in for a Void. I hope that we're able to go in and kill the Little Prince here. Yep, it's gone. Beautiful. So the Fisherman pulled the Guardian. So then the Little Prince got targeted fully by the Void, and then he was just dead. Like, the Little Prince cannot survive that. When he is taking the full targeting of the Void, there is no staying alive, my dude. Also, the Supreme King is just disappointed. He is a deflated dude. I wonder if we're able to find an opportunity to go for a Phoenix and then go for a Giant, or maybe just Fisherman, Phoenix, and then go Balloon. It's hard for him to defend this, I think. So I'm going to go for Skeletons and then Fisherman and then go for the Balloon. I expect him to go for something on defense here like Barbarians, and that's not extraordinarily scary because the way I see it is I Bomber and I use my Phoenix, and then the Balloon has nothing targeting it. This is what we call an absolute win. Even if you activate King Tower with the Tornado, it's not that bad. I did mess up with the Void. It should have just targeted the Little Prince, but hitting the tower there isn't awful either. I don't think that we're going to get the Phoenix to cook the egg near him, but it was pretty close to resurrecting. Also, finding an opportunity for our opponent to not have anything like Tornado means that we might be able to go in for Skeletons and screw him over. So we're going to do that right now and see what he decides to do. He might... Oh, yeah, he's going to Evo Zap. That makes sense. I was hoping he would Tornado and pull the Balloon closer to the tower. That would have been the most optimal move for us. Also, we can guarantee that we get a good defense here by using the Fisherman to pull the Golem as far as possible. So if we do this positioning, we should be able to go and pull the Golem really, really far. Then we can Phoenix directly on top of the Electric Dragon, and then try to go for a Void on top of the Little Prince. And then go for the Evil Bomber, and then I think we're fine. So just trying to pull his units as far as possible with our Fisherman is ideal. And then we can secure a really awesome defense. With 12 seconds remaining, there's nothing he can do. I just love the fact that Void can eviscerate Elixir Collectors, making sure that they don't even have the possibility of getting an overpowered Elixir advantage. Because when they do, typically with Golem Battle Healer, they ignore stuff, they get an Elixir advantage, and then they steamroll you. But they don't have that staple to secure the positive Elixir trades anymore, so we stapled down a W. Supreme King's Elixir Collector turned into a Supreme meme. Bash the like button with a balloon if you enjoyed today's video, subscribe for more daily content, and have an incredible rest of your day.